Good morning and welcome to all. Today we are going to discuss about factors affecting the growth of bacteria. Apart from the nutritional components, the growth of the microbes are also dependent on several environmental factors. These factors play an important role in understanding the growth pattern of a microbe. Apart from that, it is important to understand these factors, especially in the industrial setup where a huge amount of biomass is needed. So here we are going to discuss those environmental factors, which include moisture, oxygen, carbon dioxide, temperature, pH, light, osmotic effect, and mechanical and sonic stress. So these are the different environmental factors which are affecting microbial growth. Water is an essential component for the growth of the bacteria. 80% of the bacterial cell is made up of water. Like human beings, our body also, it is majority is water, like that, similar in the case of the bacteria. Therefore, the presence of a free water molecule, it is important for the optimum growth of the microorganisms. Apart from that, desiccation or drying has a severe effect on microbes. So these are coming under moisture, first environmental factor. For example, Treponema pallidum, the organism which is responsible for causing syphilis. Then Neisseria gonorrhoeae. These organisms such as Treponema pallidum and Neisseria gonorrhoeae, they can easily die due to desiccation, while the bacterial pathogens like Mycobacterium tuberculosis, then Staphylococcus aureus, they can survive desiccation for several weeks. Therefore, it is understood that the required moisture content which by the microbe varies species to species. So the moisture content, it may affect different in different bacteria. Some of them easily die due to desiccation, some of them are resistant to desiccation. Hence, the moisture content needs to be maintained for the optimal growth of the microbes. Next factor is oxygen. On the basis of the requirement of oxygen, the bacteria show a great deal of variation in their requirements for gaseous oxygen. Most can be placed in one of the following groups. First is obligate anaerobes. These are the organisms that grow only in the presence of oxygen. So they are considered to be strict aerobes. They obtain their energy through aerobic respiration. For example, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, they are strict aerobes. Next is microaerophils. The microaerophils are the organisms that require a low concentration of oxygen, and it ranges in between 2 to 10% for the growth. But higher concentrations are inhibitory for their growth. They obtain their energy through aerobic respiration. Example, Helicobacter pylori. Next is obligate anaerobes. The obligate anaerobes are the organisms that grow only in the absence of oxygen, and they are considered to be strict anaerobes. And in fact, they are often inhibited or killed by the presence of oxygen. They obtain their energy through anaerobic respiration or fermentation. For example, Clostridium tetani, which is responsible for causing tetanus. This Helicobacter pylori It is also responsible for causing gastric stomach ulcer type disorders in the stomach. Next group of microorganisms are aerotolerant anaerobes. Like obligate anaerobes, they cannot use oxygen to transform their energy, but they can grow in its presence. They obtain energy only by fermentation. So they are also known as obligate fermenters because they doesn't obtain through another method, only through fermentation. Next is facultative anaerobes. These are the organisms that grow with or without oxygen, but generally better with oxygen. They obtain their energy through aerobic respiration if the oxygen is present, but they can also use fermentation or anaerobic respiration if the oxygen is absent. Most bacteria are facultative anaerobes. Example, E. coli. And most of the pathogens also comes under facultative anaerobes. Next important factor responsible for the microbial growth, environmental factor, is carbon dioxide. Most of the bacteria require a small amount of carbon dioxide for their growth. This carbon dioxide is usually provided by the environment, or it can be produced by the bacteria due to cellular metabolism. Organisms such as Brucella abortus require a high level of carbon dioxide, that is 5 to 10% for the growth. So the 5 to 10% of carbon dioxide is required by the Brucella abortus. A bacteria that require a high level of carbon dioxide for their growth, they are particularly known as capnophilic bacteria. Example for the capnophilic bacteria is Campylobacter, Campylobacter jejuni. This is also responsible for causing a type of diarrhea in human beings. Next important factor is temperature. It is an essential environmental factor that can influence the growth of the organisms. Most of the pathogens grow at 37 degrees Celsius body temperature. The bacteria have a minimum, optimum and maximum temperature for their growth, and they can be divided into 3 groups based on their optimum growth temperature. Psychrophils. Psychrophils are the cold-loving bacteria. Their optimum growth temperature is in between -5 to 15 degrees Celsius. They are usually found in Arctic and Antarctic regions and also in the streams fed by glaciers. Next is mesophils. Mesophils are the bacteria that grow best at moderate temperatures. Their optimal growth temperature is in between 25 and 45 degrees Celsius. Most of the bacteria are mesophilic and include common soil bacteria and the bacteria that live in and on the body. Next is thermophils. The thermophils are the heat-loving bacteria. Their optimum growth temperature is in between 45 and 70 degrees Celsius, and they are commonly found in hot springs and in compost heaps. Example, Bacillus stearothermophilus. Then next group is hyperthermophils. These are the bacteria that grow at very high temperatures. Their optimum growth temperature is between 70 degrees Celsius and up to 110 degrees Celsius. They are usually members of the archaea and are found growing near hydrothermal vents at great depths in the ocean. Temperature affects the growth of the bacteria by various ways. The lowest temperature that allows the growth is called minimum temperature, and highest temperature that allows the growth of the bacteria is called maximum temperature. There is no growth below the minimum and above the maximum temperature. Below the minimum temperature, the cell membrane solidifies and becomes stiff to transport nutrients into the cell. Hence, no growth occurs. Above maximum temperature, what happens? The cellular proteins and enzymes denatures. So, the bacterial growth stops. This is the diagram or graph showing the relationship between the temperature and growth rate. When the temperature is increased, the growth also increases. But at a point it reaches, that is the maximum temperature, and above that, even though when the temperature is increasing, the growth rate doesn't increase, it moves down. So this is the maximum temperature in which the growth rate occurs maximum, and that temperature is called optimum temperature. When the temperature increases continuously from its minimum, growth rate of the bacteria increases because the rate of the metabolic reactions increases with increase in temperature. At certain temperature, the growth rate becomes maximum, and that temperature is known as optimum temperature. On further increasing the temperature above this optimum, the growth rate doesn't increases, it decreases abruptly and completely stops with reaching maximum temperature. Next important factor is pH. pH affects the ionic properties of the bacterial cells. So, it affects the growth of the bacteria. Most of the bacteria grow at neutral pH. That is in between 6.5 to 7.5. Sorry, a spelling mistake, not 60.5. It is 6.5. A spelling mistake. So, however, there are certain bacteria that grow best at acidic pH as well as basic pH. The relationship between the pH and the bacterial growth, it can be figured below. This is the growth rate and this is the pH. In the case of the pH also, there is an optimal pH and then the pH decreases. Same in the case of acidophils, in the case of neutrophils as well as in the case of alkalophils. All of them requires an optimum pH for their increased growth rate. Microorganisms can be placed in one of the following groups based on their optimal pH requirements. That is, neutrophils that may grow best at the pH range of 5 to 8. Acidophils, they also grow best at the pH below 5.5. Then next is alkalophils. They also grow best at the pH above 8.5. pH is an essential factor for the growth of the microbes. Many bacteria are able to produce several organic acids which reduce, so the organic acids produced by the bacteria reduces the pH of the medium and they restrict the growth of other bacteria. So other bacteria can't grow because of the pH, because of the release of the organic acids which reduce the pH of the medium. Apart from the some media constituents can be affected, apart from that, some media constituents can be affected by low pH. The bacteria's low pH affects certain media constituents. Therefore, maintain the optimum pH is highly important to obtain what? Adequate growth of the organisms. Pathogens are mostly requiring neutral pH. However, there are industrially important bacteria such as Lactobacillus lactis which requires a low pH for its optimal growth.